Now, we are going to look at the actual process of photosynthesis. We've talked about the chloroplast already, but I want us just to remember two aspects here. The process of photosynthesis is a series of complex reactions which is divided into two major phases. The light phase, which we also call the light dependent phase. It means it depends on light and can only take place in the presence of light. Remember the experiments that were done in the 1600s to try to find out what happens in this process. One of the scientists was able to then prove that in the presence of light, oxygen was replaced in the air, and that's why that torch or that match could continue burning. So when he took away light, the match went off. It means oxygen was no longer produced. That's because one phase of photosynthesis depends on light, and that's the first phase. We call it the light dependent phase. That's the first phase. That first phase occurs where? It occurs inside the granum. Remember, I said granum will be our region 1. 1, now we should know it. I called it 1 because that is where the first phase of photosynthesis occurs, light phase. And I'll never forget the light phase occurs in the granum, because in that word light, I spell it L-I-G. There's that G there. The G part for me represents also G for granum. That's why I think of light G granum. Then I know that the light phase occurs inside the granum of the chloroplast because that's the chlorophyll which is going to trap light is found. Now, the second phase of photosynthesis, the dark phase, that we also call the light independent phase, because it doesn't depend on light. It means it can occur in the light and in darkness as well. That dark phase occurs in what I called earlier region 2, which is the stroma. If I know that G goes for granum and region 1, then I know that the remaining one, now stroma, that's where the dark phase will occur. Now, looking at the process of photosynthesis, see all the structural stability of the chloroplast. Looking at the process of photosynthesis, I've represented it here in form of a diagram with the light phase occurring in the granum. That's the plural for granum, grana. I spoke about it earlier. And the second phase, which is the dark phase, occurring in the stroma. Let's start with the light phase, which takes place in the granum, the light dependent phase. When light, under the presence of light, chlorophyll. Where do we find the chlorophyll? We find chlorophyll inside the thylakoids of the granum. Otherwise, generally speaking, we find chlorophyll inside the granum of the chloroplast. Chlorophyll will trap light. In that sense, it traps radiant energy. Otherwise, it traps energy. That's why we have here light energy. So the chlorophyll traps that light energy. And what is it going to do? It's going to use that light energy. Part of it will be converted to an energy carrier molecule that we call ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Part of the energy will be used to form adenosine triphosphate, which is an energy package. That's how energy is present in most known biological systems, always in the form of ATP. Even in humans, we have energy found in the form of ATP. That's the energy that we use from our mitochondria to do all our daily activity. Even myself speaking right now, I'm using a lot of that ATP. And another part of the energy is used to split. It means it's going to break into two, to split water molecules, H2O, to form a high energy carrying hydrogen atom and 2 atoms of oxygen, which are then going to exit the chloroplast and later on exit the whole leaf through the stomata, which are these openings like pores on the leaves. That oxygen will go out as a byproduct. So whenever we've heard of oxygen being released during photosynthesis, it is from that light phase that oxygen is released as a result of the splitting of water molecules by energy that is trapped from sunlight by the chlorophyll. So that energy, the second usage of it is to split that water molecule into high energy carrying hydrogen atoms and the oxygen, which will go out as a byproduct while ATP has been formed. Now, that is all that happens in the light phase. So, as a recap, chlorophyll traps radiant energy, uses the energy to make energy carrier molecule adenosine triphosphate, and part of the energy is used to split water into 2 high energy carrying hydrogen atom and oxygen, which is then going to be released as a byproduct. That is it with the light phase. That's the end of the light phase. From here now, we will go into the dark phase. And as we said, the dark phase, where does it occur? The dark phase occurs in the stroma. That is where we have our dark phase occurring inside the stroma. Now, in the dark phase, it starts with carbon dioxide entering through the stomata of the leaf, then later on entering the chloroplast through the double membrane, the bilayered membrane. So we have carbon dioxide, and let us be attentive. What does carbon dioxide bring? Carbon dioxide brings along a combination of 2 things, carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen. 2 things found in carbon dioxide. Remember, oxygen had already gone out here from the light phase. We're no longer concerned with that oxygen. It's given off as a byproduct. Other organisms like you and I and other animals which are aerobes are going to use it for respiration. And the plant itself will also use back some of that oxygen for respiration. So we're not concerned with that. Now in the dark phase here, I said carbon dioxide brings in 2 things here, which are carbon and oxygen. This carbon and oxygen combines with the high energy hydrogen atom that came from the light phase. Remember, it had a lot of energy. It will combine, since this hydrogen atom has a lot of energy. It means when these reactants are combining, we are having carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, energy, all of that. Additional energy coming from ATP that formed during the light phase will also be added to combine all of this together. So all of them are combined. A lot of energy is packaged inside there. When that energy is packaged inside there, the whole thing now forms an energy-rich molecule. And that energy-rich molecule is glucose, C6H12O6. Which will then combine, because these are just single units of sugars, which will then combine with bonds to form a polysaccharide, which is starch. It means starch is basically made up of glucose. Glucose is basically made up of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, together with energy. That's why when you eat starch, you're eating glucose. That's why when you eat starch, when you eat food, you're actually eating energy. That's why food gives you energy, but which will only be released in the presence again of oxygen during the process of respiration that we'll look at. So that is the dark phase of photosynthesis. And all of these reactions that occur in the dark phase of photosynthesis are controlled by enzymes that are found inside the stroma, I'm sure in the light, when I was explaining about the chloroplast, I mentioned about enzymes which are produced by ribosomes, because they are proteins in nature. These enzymes are proteins in nature that are produced by ribosomes. And these enzymes are what I called earlier biological catalysts. They control and speed up the rate of chemical reactions. The dark phase has chemical reactions occurring in it. They would not be possible if there was no enzyme. So as a recap, we have in the dark phase carbon dioxide coming from the atmosphere through the stomata, through the membranes of the chloroplast. The carbon dioxide is then going to bring along carbon and oxygen, which will combine with hydrogen, which has a lot of energy coming from the light phase, and again added to the energy to make these molecules combine. We need extra energy coming from ATP that came from the light phase, and all of that will combine to form C6H12O6, which is glucose, which will be added up with other molecules of glucose to form starch. All of them contain energy because hydrogen contains that energy, ATP contains energy. It means this whole molecule, food, will contain definitely energy that we shall use when we respire. So the dark phase will only take place if the light phase took place. The dark phase cannot go on if the light phase doesn't take place. That's why the light phase is number 1, which occurs in the granule, and the dark phase comes in second position, number 2, occurring in the stroma. Why is it that the dark phase only takes place if the light phase went on successfully? The reason is because for the dark phase to take place, we need hydrogen, we need ATP. And where do they come from? They come from the light phase. Okay, so that is it in summary. That is the whole process of photosynthesis.